Hey, good morning, guys. A little bit of bad news for me is that when I arrived at my location this morning, it was there was no autumn, none. It was just a regular, maybe early autumn. There was a little bit of color, but not much. So I'm on my way to another location. I just picked a hike that was close by. So on my way there. Going to my next location, and I see this little guy on the side of the road, and he's just giving me every opportunity to take his picture. Now, unfortunately, it probably means that people have fed him before, and he's waiting for a handout, which is not so great. So if you come to Hokkaido, please make sure you're not feeding the foxes, because it makes them hang around the roads, and it makes it a little bit more dangerous for them. But this fox is absolutely beautiful, and I hope you enjoy the photo that I got of him.
And just down the road, I came across another beautiful fox. My decision to drive up into the mountains seemed to have been the right one. The landscape looked as if the saturation slider had been turned up a little too high. My prospects were looking a lot better than when I had started.
Took me about 30 minutes to get here from my first location, which was Seaside. And fingers crossed, we'll find something worth shooting. I have never been here before. I don't even know where I am. I am out of cell phone service. So fingers crossed, this turns out to be something worthwhile.
This actually looks like it's going to be a fairly short and relatively easy hike rather than a mountain climb. But if you look down this path here, it is covered wall to wall with sasa. It's bamboo grass. And you can see nothing from, it looks like it's about, 8 to 10 feet high the entire way down. So hopefully that clears out and there is a little bit more of a viewing area as we get further along. There is no view to be had, and I think it was a nice hike, very invigorating. I can kind of peek over the top of this sasa grass, and I can see some mountains, which is lovely, but it's a lovely scene that can't really be photographed. So I think I'm just gonna hike it back down and maybe think about reevaluating my perspective. I was looking for some big, nice landscapes today, and I think I might have to go a little bit more intimate. In Hokkaido and in Japan, internationally, I'm sure most of you have heard that there has been a rash, a spike in the number of bear attacks and bear deaths in Japan. And Hokkaido is central in that as well. Now, I always carry bear spray with me and bear bells. And some of you have complained at the noise of those bear bells over the years. And I have to admit, they are pretty annoying. But I actually just ripped this out of its holder and pulled off the safety because there was some massive rustling in the sasa grass, the bamboo grass. And I hear some sounds over there. So I think I'm actually going to get going. I'm going to move.
A bear never materialized, and I attributed the sound to a deer being startled. But the bear spray will make another appearance in about a minute or so.
So not 100 meters or 200 meters down from the summit, I stumbled upon this scene. Upon. My accent has just all of a sudden changed. I stumbled upon this scene here, and there's just a round top hill here with this wonderful, I'm guessing it's a gold birch, standing in front of this wonderful scene. And there's some rolling mountains all around with a little bit of color on them. It's a very subtle and subdued scene because there's no real direct sunlight, but that gold birch there really pops out from the background. I had to throw on a graduated neutral density filter because the sky is quite bright, but the mountain itself and the tree is a little bit darker. There's no real, like I said, direct sunlight, but that sky, that cloud cover is really capturing a lot of that light. So I threw on a graduated neutral density filter, bring down the highlights a little bit. You can see the path here and leading down there. It's pretty steep and there's nowhere really to set up my tripod. But luckily, because my camera has about, I think, 4 or 5 stops of stabilization, I can shoot it handheld and I have no problem with sharpness. So I'm just kind of tucked into a little divot here I was just a bit down there. So it was just a bit down there. I was just tucked in a little bit with that sasa bamboo grass. And oh, the light's coming out a little bit more. I'm going to get another shot.
What not to do when carrying bear spray. I accidentally fired, putting the safety back on, and it got somewhere on my hand, I suppose, and then I rubbed my nose, and now my nose is on fire. I tried to rinse it off with some water, it instantly made it worse. You remember when Will Ferrell was in the Land of the Lost and he's dousing himself with dinosaur urine and splashed some in his eyes, and he's like, oh, I just need to rinse it more, and he splashed some more in his eye. Yeah, made it instantly worse. Lesson learned.
I was beginning to question my luck. I was making the best of it, but man, it seemed like nothing was going to happen easily. My first location was a dud. The view on the hike blocked by tall bamboo grass, bear spray cleaning out my sinuses, and I wasn't even down the mountain yet. I was not feeling very confident or creative, but I kept at it. After about 20 minutes, the burning subsided, and I made my way down to a mountain pond in marshland.
These little pine saplings are quite photogenic, really. Now, I didn't photograph them from this height. I actually brought myself way down here. And then you see, when I come down to here, the middle tree takes center stage. I threw it in a square crop. I might not keep it in a square crop. I'm not quite sure. But I think it's quite a little beautiful shot. I might put it in black and white because the color here really doesn't really make a difference. So if you like it, let me know. Well, it just started raining, and there's some darker clouds behind me there that are starting to move in. And that means it's going to rain pretty hard. So I'm going to hoof it back to the car and reassess what's going to happen next.
Woo! Whoa, that is lovely. What a nice surprise. I really thought that it was just going to downpour, and it hasn't started raining really at all. It drizzled my entire way to this spot. As soon as I took out my camera, it stopped. This
embankment here, you can see in the shot here, there is a covered highway, and that's because in this area there is an enormous amount of snow in the wintertime. And so they've just made a complete covered highway here. There's a pine on the opposite side there with a skeletal-looking gold birch next to that. Just behind that is the mountainside, and that looks beautiful. Now, I just would love a little bit of light just hitting right on that ridge line there, and I think that would be an absolutely beautiful shot.
On the graves, in the cracks of 1,000 leaves, somewhere in between, our past and our future rolling over.
Well, that was a lovely and unexpected shot there. And I guess this whole day is unexpected, as is what usually transpires on this channel, because I don't plan so much, and I just kind of go out and shoot with whatever I have on hand. That's the case with Weekend Warriors, right? We don't get to watch the news or watch the weather report and say, hey, it's going to snow tomorrow. I'm going to go shoot tomorrow. Well, I have to go to work, unfortunately, when that happens. So, yeah, go with the flow. And as is typical, I haven't seen a soul since I've been out. Lovely. And my nose feels much better now.
So it works. At least I know it works. Quality control. There we go.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next time.
And I see that love rolling over. You call me back to bed.